I don't like to go by guesswork. I like to try and go by things that can actually be proven and by fact. All right, by things that can be looked up, by things that can be proven, by tests that you can do to prove things. That's what I typically like to go on. However, I'm gonna talk about Galileo Galilei just for 1 minute because I think it's hilarious that people still think this is a real person and use him as proof that the earth is a spinning ball. Number one, Galileo Galilei is such a ridiculous name and so significant in the Bible. It's pretty clear to me when you do further research that this man is a character. He's a character given to us for a storyline, for a narrative, for a lie, so that we believe it. Now, why would they use the name Galileo Galilei? Because Galileo is Galilee is super significant in the Bible if you know anything about the Bible. Now, why is it clever in my opinion? Because think of this. The name Galileo Galilei, first of all, if you're using that name to convince people that the earth is a spinning ball back in the day, they are going to most likely believe it because of the tie-in with the Bible. Now, down the road, I believe that they anticipated a break-off or a disconnect between science and religion. And I also believe that they anticipated when that splits off, when they put that wedge in there, which is what they did with science fiction and all of this nonsense, with all these science fiction writers that started writing and creating all of the things that we basically have today. All these satellites, these are all from science fiction novels, all right? Even the creator of Scientology, all right, L. Ron Hubbard, he is one of the number one. He's written more things than anyone else. I believe he has that under his belt. I could be mistaken, or he's one of them, but I believe he's written more than anyone in science fiction. This dude all he did is write science fiction. And now, he literally created a religion. I don't know if people know this. I know many do, and this is L. Ron Hubbard. Now, L. Ron Hubbard was really good friends with Jack Parson, who was the founder of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which is where we get all of our equipment from that still takes us up to space today. Now, Jack Parsons, allegedly, his life is weird, and then he became, after the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, he started working in Hollywood as a stuntman, and then he blew himself up, allegedly. I don't know. These stories are crazy. It's so ridiculous. That's what I mean. So back to Galileo Galilei, they knew they would be able to drive a scientific wedge in between science and, in between earth science, and they drove a wedge, and then they turned earth sciences into this nonsense that we have today. This total NASA lie that's tied into Greek mythology and everything else, and it's a total obvious lie. Everything they do is ridiculous. They encode everything in occult numerology, satanic occult numerology, and I'm not saying that these numbers, this is what people got to understand. When you see the number 666, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you're going to fry or it's bad to look at or, These are numbers. They're numbers that, what I look at it like is they're codes. So when you start seeing these codes in all of the stuff that we are given, all of the, the paperwork and all of our stuff, all of our textbooks, when you start breaking it down into the most basic form of numerology, it's old Pythagorean numerology. Why do the elite members, why did the Illuminatis and all this bull, all these people, why did these people use this stuff? Because it dates back to Babylon, and they worship all of that. We still live in the Roman Empire. People don't understand this. It never ended. The Vatican is it's all the Roman Empire. And the Roman Empire worshipped deities. All right? They worshipped basically Greek stuff, like all that old stuff. They adopted all of it and changed some of it in the wordage, and and they kept changing and Romanizing things. But I got to tell you, when you get down to the bottoms of these words and the truth, you'll understand that people like Galileo Galilei, they were able to drive the wedge in. Now, what they understand is that most people that believe in science over God they don't even know that the name Galileo Galilei is significant. They have no idea. So it got lost because of the wedge that they have created with all of this nonsense. All right, you got Wernher von Braun, who developed the rocket. They're still using this same rocket technology today. When Wernher von Braun died, he put Psalm 191 on his gravestone. All right, 191. You know what that psalm says? May the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. All right, Psalm 191. I'm not sure why they would put that on the guy that invented the rocket's gravestone. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting? You can look this up right now. You can look up how come all of the movies that we watch, most of them, all the companies, their logo symbolism in the beginning of the movies is there's always a dome, like a rainbow shaped dome, or a rocket that shoots over and goes like that. There's always symbolism to that. Okay, there's always sun symbolism, or the lion and the sun, right? That's all zodiac symbolism. The zodiac is in everything. It's in the Bible. It's loaded in the Bible. It's everywhere. It's crazy, and it's used everywhere. And the zodiac can be used to prove that we are not a spinning ball cycling endlessly through the galaxy. We've been seeing the same stars above us forever. They've been drawing them in cave walls forever. The 12 zodiac signs, they've been drawing them in cave walls for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, over 6,000 years. So I just think it's funny. People want to say, oh, the North Star moved. Ah! You prove it. Prove it. Come on, prove it. You can't prove it. They've been talking about the pole star, the North Star. The pole star to me sounds like a pretty significant name. The pole. Yeah. When you play a game like tetherball, right? The ball, you hit the ball around the pole. You know that game? Bang the ball around there. Where is the pole? The pole is in the middle. The pole is in the middle, and the ball goes around. It's very similar to the sun and the pole. Isn't it interesting? Actually, that's where that game came from. The idea of the pole star, the pole, and the sun circling around the pole star. So people should start to learn about symbolism and all of the signs, all of the symbols, learn the language, learn what it means. The heliocentric model is for Helios. Even the Helios symbolism, he's holding a sphere in his hand. I mean, it's just so ridiculously pathetic. All the symbolism is so obvious. What's going on here? Start to learn the words. They named people names for a reason. It's all symbolic. It's all designed to take your brain and drive it down a endless mind warp. All right? I'm sorry, but you know what's crazy to me is that it's so funny. Like, people think, oh, some people, I mean, most people are catching on these days, which leads me to also say, if you're not, you should be concerned, because lots of people are waking up, like, by the day. And I mean out on the street in the real world. People are really waking up. So if you're not, there's something going on, and you should check into that. But I do believe, though, I mean, people are going to wake up when they're going to wake up. You know, it's just going to happen on your own. You can't force somebody to wake up. You can only give them information, and they have to decide what they want to do with it. I mean, even it's funny because it can be verified, but people just don't want to override their belief system, and it's a shame. I love you all, and this is for entertainment.